Okay, we're going to call this one moving information. We've done a similar video, but I just wanted to put it together right here with this set. So we're going to go ahead and just say again, enemies move in formation. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I've written this one, but I guess we'll revisit it. So let's go to, I just coded the bottom two rows, which are enemy object E20 or E10. And let's talk about the creation. I made a creation variable called hit edge equals false. In the alarm 0, it sets global move speed back to 5 and also sets hit edge back to false. So pretty straightforward in the creation code and the alarm 0. And the bulk of the code is sitting in the step function. And so let's attack it a little bit of a piece. Let's look at the very top. So if global move direction is 1, we're just going to highlight this little piece for a moment, move right until it hits right edge. So then I've nested an if-then-else statement underneath that. So again, I went ahead and indented so you can see that it's a nested if statement. And it runs this if-then-else statement. So if move direction is 1, it says, as long as x is less than room width minus sprite width, then x should move to the right, which means x plus equals global move speed. Else, it sets global move speed equal to 0, and it changes global move direction over to -1. Okay? I copied and pasted that down here with move left until actually this should say left edge. And the only change is obviously if global move direction is -1, this time is x has got to be greater than sprite width because that's the far left of the screen. And then it's a minus equals global move speed. Global move speed is still set to 0 in the else statement, and also global move direction is now set to +1 instead of -1. So basically those two are carbon copies of each other. And then let's go check the part where it moves down the screen. So again, I'm going to look at this chunk of code right in here. So when it moves down the screen, then if global move speed is equal to 0, all it does is it adds to the y value, which is going to move it down the screen. And then this other one is basically Boolean control. So I set up another one that says if global.moveSpeed and not hit edge. Again, remember we set that to false to start off with, so this is going to start as true. And as soon as the global move speed hits 0, which is the same thing as saying false, that's why that works. I could say equals 0 here, but it's the same thing. I'll go ahead and put it in case there's confusion. If global move speed equals 0 and not hit edge, then it sets an alarm for half of a second and it sets hit edge to true. So now when this alarm goes off, that's the one that set hit edge back to false, and that's the one that set the global move speed back to some number. So again, then he's going to go ahead and do either the left or he's going to do the right hand movement. So you'll see, and there's a little glitch in here, and I'll figure out how to fix it. But you'll see the basic concept is when the program runs, he moves to the right, he hits edge, and he moves to the left, he hits edge, and he goes down a little bit. We'll have to slow it down. They're really hard to shoot, especially with the no spamming bullets, but I'll try to hit the guys on the extreme right-hand edge so that you can see that it's not. There we go. He'll also go in and he'll do the same thing even if the right edge one's not there. So the code, they're going to kill me. Actually, I didn't even code that in, so they're not going to kill me, but I think you get the main idea. They go back and forth all the way to the edge, regardless of if it's a new edge or not. So that's the kind of movement we want. This is a little fast, obviously, but for right now, for pre-testing purposes, I'll leave it. The last thing I went ahead and coded in is if they die. So I'm going to go ahead and look in the step function again and look at this code down here that says if enemy dies. So I did a place meeting again. So if place meeting xy obj underscore bullet, then it should destroy. This is with a with statement. So with, and if you put it in parentheses, you're calling now obj in underscore bullet. So I now told it to also destroy the bullet. And then I had two global enemy things that I wanted to change. Global enemy count, we subtracted 1. And that global bullet equals false. That's what lets it respawn a bullet again, because we have the no spamming bullets thing that we did in the first video. All right, so again, this destroys actually, even though we're coding in the enemy, and then this guy here resets. bullet spam. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty good 2 chunks of code there that we talked about in one video. Again, the movement, and the last thing about it is this is how the enemy dies and moves over. So there's a couple good other pieces of code for you to start off with the Space Invaders project. Thanks.